if anybody has ever looked at email electricity consumption and cloud services, if you haven't done that, go take a look. It's actually interesting where your old spam is costing a lot of electricity for nothing. So there's a lot of thinking in that line of thought. And I even talked to a guy who was hired to do a project where they would recycle heat from IT racks because those machines generate a lot of heat. And we spend more electricity to cool these things down. So what their goal was to actually do the opposite and recycle the heat and grow exotic fruits in-house in their server rooms. People are crazy and I love it. So how are people using this? What kind of successes have we found? What can you steal from those organizations? So because you're all marketers, you all go on Facebook, right? Maybe. Have you seen the hoodie, those really big hoodies that it's like a person tent? And you can fit almost a family of 5 in there. It's actually a really cool product. And these guys have a special model that is Earth-centric. They found us, their team found us, their junior people found us, and they're planting 100 trees a day because they sell 100 of those hoodies, globally speaking, a day. We've been added as part of their fabric to do business. And they've actually spent man hours to build a custom Shopify integration for their site. We have nothing to do with this. Here are the codes to access, have fun, enjoy, and they've pulled that off, and it's literally amazing. And they also have the Good in the Hood program, which describes everything they do from a community perspective. So they're getting a lot of response on a global basis because, namely, they have decent product and they do interesting, positive things. More on a thing that I would not have expected personally, but has been done. Movinga's in Germany, I think, and they're a moving company. So if you want to move, say, from Paris to Berlin, you hire these guys and they do the whole logistics, and they plant over 5,000 trees a month through their customer projects. And this is how they offset the carbon cost of moving somebody from point A to point B. So it's part of the business fabric at this point. Now, some usage scenarios we've found other than those 2 case studies, well, there's the classic transactional stuff. If you want to upsell, cross-sell, special promo, calendar-based promo, etc., these are very tactical kind of items, but they're there, and it can be really easily used. Email database growth. Going back to my comment of the cost, the green cost of email. If you want to manage that email database and acquire those email addresses, which are worth gold, as the 2 previous presenters said, just plant a tree. Join our email database, we'll plant a tree or something. Work in that line, then I'd be curious to see the results. We have had a lot of conversations about people wanting to do that, but a lot of them have cold feet because of cost. But I'd be really curious to see what happens when somebody does it and does it well. That's something I'm talking about right now to a third-party app vendor on Shopify about leave a review, plant a tree. If you want to grow your brand and you want to engage with people throughout all the noise, that's a very simple, effective way. In fact, we have a customer that is using tree planting type approaches to get cancellation explanations. So if somebody cancels, all right, that's cool. We're sad to see you go. Can you just tell us? If you tell us, we'll plant a tree. So they actually get a lot more market intelligence and why people are leaving through this very simple mechanism. And I'm going back to the internal stuff, reward your employees. In my lifetime, I've been a channel manager, and I've always tried to blend my activities to my partner's culture. And I've had a lot of success doing these things, up to sending sales teams to Florida to party. And whatever works in that organization, do it. Now, what I've done was 20 plus years ago, but in this day and age, go crazy. Reward your employees and bring them together in a joint kind of activity. Huge benefits. Now, where can you plug this? That's a question we get all the time. E-commerce, that's the easy one, right? Within your apps, there's plenty of opportunities. By example, you're into gaming and you want to upsell the green sword of truthfulness or something. Oh, I was real tacky, but we'll plant a tree at every sale of a sword in your game. And one of our customers, Tesla, every time that they help somebody locate the charging station for Tesla, they offer, would you like to plant a tree while you're at it? And the customer ends up buying the tree. So they just become a pass-through type system, and they engage with customers that way. Campaigns, launches. We've been talking about campaigns all day and all those kind of fun activities and how we create content marketing, and this can fit right in. I'm annoying with this internal thing, aren't I? He's going like, no, you're not. I appreciate you, sir. Again, no balls being thrown in my direction. I'm doing okay. But most importantly, surprise us, please. I mean, we come from a classical IT perspective of what we do. Most of us are software architects, so we're limited from a cultural, creative thinking perspective. Think of what you do. How can this be applied? How can you create value? How can you engage with your customers? Knock yourself out. Now, some brands that have not yet been mentioned that are using us, most of them are fairly unknown, but Le Bijou is a hotel. Intruder is an IT sec software company for, I believe, threat and vulnerability management. Daisy is an interesting one because they are a company that makes software to manage buildings. So they found a way. The Daniela Leavi, I'm sorry if I butchered the name, that's a fashion brand for accessories, purses, and all those kind of fun things. Ayana and Ticker are financial services organizations. Movinga, we've seen. Tesla are my guys that find the Tesla chargers and get you plant trees. And Stream Heroes, we found our first user in the gaming space. They found it a really interesting, enticing idea. Again, go back to slide 3, give or take, and they target that audience. That audience cares and they engage. So now I'm sure you all want to do it, right? Please contain your enthusiasm, especially you. Like, come down. Did I? Okay, don't throw that ball. If you want to get into that direction, you want to start investigating what you can do. And I'm not saying plant trees because that's my parish and that's what I preach, but find something that's of merit to your organization. We're there to help, and we're very happy to announce that our new website with the actual branding will be up this week. So we're going to be like, hey, we're not going to look like software developers. No offense to software developers, but it's going to breathe a little bit more, and there's going to be more content and more coming. If you want to figure out how much carbon your organization consumes or generates, Mutual is one of our partners that uses us to plant trees. They can help you figure out all those numbers. They're really good, smart people. Now, the other two you may or not have seen. I'm no expert on those two, but they're worth bringing up. First one is B Corporation, which is a standards-based organization that will certify an organization for social and or environmental efforts. So supply chain, sustainability, etc. It's part of their delivery package, and you go through this, and you will actually probably alter the culture of your organization if you go in that direction, but for the better. And 1% for the planet, that one may have been seen. It's a classic one, and big brands are actually using it. OXO, the kitchen tools. So Black Handle, Rubberish Feel, they give back 1% of their profits to the planet. Nature's Path has some breakfast cereals for kids that they give back 1% to the planet. I'm not saying you should do it, but please look at it. So hopefully I have conveyed something interesting, and I open it up for questions. And as slide 2 mentioned, I like dad jokes, so I can take requests.
Thank you, Jean-Pascal. I'll give you the box so you can throw it.
Yeah, I can
Not
throw
breaking
stuff.
anything, otherwise 1 bottle broken equal 1 tree. So.
Oh, damn it. It's going to be expensive because I got no skills.
Any question? Anyone? Yeah.
See, I'm listening to you.
Thank you. So at Digital Humani, how do you couple sustainability and growth? you're a new business, you probably have some growth promises to meet. So I'm wondering, how do you couple those two?
Internally, we don't, because we're how do you say this in English? Cordonnier aussi. We do and we don't. Where everything we do is philosophically done in that way, but we're still on the ramp up phase. And I'm like, me showing up in DH is like phase 2, where we're going to start looking at business. So where your question is very good, it's just too early. Did I answer properly? Okay, I tried.
Yeah, I think it's a great challenge to be sustainable and at the same time to meet growth targets. And there are not a lot of books that kind of couple those two together.
Yep. I completely agree with you. It's not my, I'm going to be super corporate here and say it's not my department. We have somebody really, really smart that's doing an MBA in sustainability that can probably answer this a whole lot better than I am. I'm the troublemaker.
No problem.
So, but we make every possible effort to do things as clean as possible. We don't travel to meet each other, not because of COVID, but there's a carbon footprint, and we're trying to avoid those kind of expenses. We're not taking the most carbon costing whenever we can IT services online, and we're trying to do more with less. So it's philosophical at this point. We don't have yet metrics because, again, new car smell.
What are your thoughts on partnering with somebody in your local community who has expertise in whether it's tree planting or another, socially aware organization that might not be my alley if I get it wrong?
The answer is yes. We're always interested. I'm going to let you repeat the question so you can get recorded, and it's going to be kept for all time.
This is very dangerous. Okay. Thank you so much for the presentation, by the way. My question is simply regarding, if it's not our area of expertise, if it's too early for us, what are your thoughts on partnering and the acceptance of partnering with other organizations where said social initiative or environmental initiative is their area of expertise?
So there is expertise out there. It's just luck of the draw. My sister-in-law in Amsterdam, Europe, is actually in sustainability consulting. That's what she does full time, and she helps corporations, organizations to lower their carbon footprints and optimize things in that direction. There is help out there. We just got to find it, and we're not at the point of reaching out to those organizations ourselves, but they are out there. That person I mentioned, that's really smart, she's doing an MBA in sustainability. So if the MBA programs are available for those kind of topics, there's help out there. I just don't know them myself personally. Now, I'm going to take this opportunity to branch out. Yes, that was a pun. I intend my puns. I'm no coward. We partner with 7 tree planting organizations. That's a question we typically get, so I'm going to proactively answer it. They are distributed on a global scale. You can plant wherever basically you want. Our system will let you choose your partner, and your partner has a list of places where they plant that you choose. So if you want to do it on a community level and plant in Quebec, the answer is yes. If you want to do something exotic, the answer is yes. One of my favorite ones is the Kenya partner that we've got, because it's a not-for-profit that helps people have jobs in a place where it's hard to have jobs, and they're reforesting areas that have been damaged. But interestingly enough, our founder just told me that a few weeks ago. Like, did you know they plant fruit trees? They're like, no, oh, what? Wait, what? So not only when you partner with those organizations and you reforest and do all those really positive things, you also feed people. Not this week because trees will take time, but there's that side benefit I didn't see originally.
Any other question? Actually, I have 2 for you. I think it's linked to the previous one, but have you seen among your clients an impact on brand sentiment while after launching this kind of initiative? You have feedback from a client saying, yes, my brand awareness way up the roof and I was able to increase my business and so on?
We have very positive qualitative feedback. We are trying to extract quantitative feedback from our partners. But like the guys in the Hoodie and Movinga are really good examples where they've actually seen business growth from this. and they've been able to do more, and it helps their brand, their image. It's just good all around. We're at a point where we're hitting that level of maturity where we can start to ask for those metrics, because we're still fairly new. We got to let a little bit of action happen before we can actually collect data.
And the second question I have is, have you seen among these same companies and brands some changes internally to basically match the value proposition of being socially engaged and going towards ecology and so on? But have you seen also them changing practices internally that will match basically this kind of activity?
I've seen it, but I don't think we've caused it. We're part of the equation. We're helping them go from point A to point B, but we're not the causality factor. If you look at Hoodie, which I really like, I don't own one, and my wife said no. We have too much stuff in the house, and but it's part of their overall plan to be as least carbon centric as possible. So they're based in Australia, but they have warehouses around the world where they ship their manufactured good to reduce the final customer drop, and it's part of that recipe. We're not yet, and I hope we will be, mission critical in, if I can use that language, for organizations to actually build something strategic and go out all yet. But we're going there. We have some plans. And in fact, one of the plans, like right now we started off with tree planting, but we have plans to branch out into some other areas of social engagement, which are under wraps right now because they're under research. I don't want to commit anything. And we're even considering open sourcing our platform to have other digital humanities out there. So if you want to start your own in your basement over the weekend, casually, it's going to be possible. Ooh, we have a question.
I was just curious, were you guys able to tap into Shred or any other grants for this?
I'm gonna again. I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I'm almost interested. One of the things I brought to the table is that business operational culture, and we've reached to be a formal nonprofit. We've done all the legwork that we're fully legit. Again, we're a nascent organization. But can we talk about this after, please? Mm-hmm. I'm very interested.
You have tech people within your team, right?
Sorry?
You have technical people within your team. You talk about Zapier and.
We have we have a whole wacky bunch of really smart people that are coders. That's where our culture is right now, and we're just trying to explode for the world.
Great question. Anyone else?
That joke request.
Thank you, Jean-Pascal.